All right, guys. Welcome. We weren't on Facebook, so I had to get us on Facebook really quick. Okay. Let's see. Whoop, there we go. Welcome, everybody. Hello. Thank you for joining us. Let us know if you're here. I love seeing all these familiar faces. We got some Debbies, some Cecilia.
I love some Debbies.
Yeah. And my special guest today is Cassandra from Beads to Live By. Yay! And Cassandra and I had a great time last week hanging out in person, and we exchanged some beads, and Cassandra gave me her curated collection for December, and I had made some beads to match the curated collection. So, Cassandra, do you want to tell us about your curated collection? And I'm going to
I always do that when I try to change.
put you as the big one.
So,
Let's see.
Hi,
There we go.
Here we go.
Welcome, everybody. So Cassandra's going to tell us about her curated collection, and I will let you take it from there, Cassandra.
Awesome. Well, first of all, thank you for having me, friend. It's such a treat to see you again after our recent visit. And it feels even more special since we just saw each other in person, so it doesn't feel like we are quite so far apart on the computer today.
That is the magic of the internet.
Yes, right. And I think I'm on a little bit of a delay, so if there's any like weirdness at any point, I'm noticing that a tiny bit at times. So
okay, I'm not seeing it on my end, so you're okay.
It might just be the video on my end, but you guys, before I came on live with Heather, I put on
so cute.
The most ridiculous holiday nails that a girl at my local salon that I go to put together, like little sets that people could get. And I never wear these. So you guys are in for a real treat because it's going to look like I am brand new at using hands while I'm trying to be. But I don't think I've even talked to you about this yet, Heather. This set of, I'm pulling up the link so that people can see the goodies from what we're working with on my collection today. There's a little extra in here, but you can see, like, based on the colors, what's part of this year, December's collection. And I just dropped that link. Oh, it failed. Can I send it to you, Heather? Or someone, if there's anybody in the background there. But this is actually, for now, the last month of the subscriptions after over 3 years of doing the subscriptions for me.
Oh, so this is your last one.
For now. I'm trying to think of some new ways to innovate it a little bit for us. Okay, Heather dropped the link for me. Thanks, guys. That's basically like a search within our website, the link to a search, which will pull up most of what I'm with today and what all the things I've shared with Heather. But yeah, we started off with a full year of only seed bead subscriptions, or not a full year. There was like just the first few months of the subscription, rather. It was just seed beads. And then we offered the 2-hole coordinating, and it's just morphed since then. But the timing of it, when I would have been needing to prepare the first quarter for 2026, I just was not in a position to put my full effort into it. And I've already got some other things in the works, but it's been a good thing to just rethink how I'm doing things when it comes to that. So you guys are part of a really special thing today, because it's like the last promotional thing we're doing for the previous iteration of the subscriptions. But Heather gave me some really beautiful beads that look so good with all of this. So I can't wait to see everything all like worked up together, and I haven't seen anything from Heather yet because I was fussing around with it while she was making some holiday decorations while we were doing Heather. So I couldn't wait.
We were having fun.
We were having so much fun. Oh my gosh. It was so restorative. Like, if you are not from Michigan, or if you haven't been to the west coast of Michigan, especially the area that Heather lives in, it's so peaceful and beautiful. And even in the most frigid of winds and temperatures, it just felt so good to be there and be together. So
It all melted away this week.
yeah, it looks like fall again here in
I
Jackson.
know. I'm not happy about that.
I was trucking through the snow and the ice while we were together, and then it's like,
Yes.
oh, now it's different.
I like a white Christmas, but that's okay.
I
We
know
had
it would
it
have been
beforehand.
nice if it fell into that time frame instead of plaguing us during times when we were still trying to do more work.
It rarely does, right? So, Cassandra, I'm going to add your camera here and take my face.
Oh.
I have to add me in the background somehow.
I was like, can't hear you.
Here we go. And let's remove that one. And, I don't know how to get this.
I don't have the little options in front of me. And even if I did, I would tell you the wrong one first because I always hit the wrong one before I hit the right one.
Okay. Well, we'll just put your whole thing on here. Do you want to tell us, do you have your collection in front of you that you'd like to just share with people?
Yeah.
What you have available for December?
For sure. So there's the nails in all their glory.
Love it.
So the seed beads, when people subscribe, get the entire set of 8 different seed beads. So there's but now on the website, you will see options for each individual one listed. So there's 2 size 6s, and then there's 2 size 11s. And then there are, size 8s. And then the 11s are there. And then the 15s are extra fancy, and they come in the tubes just because I feel like putting 15s in a plastic bag is extra not fun for me or anyone else.
Right?
No one deserves to get 15s in a baggie, although the tubes are incredibly expensive these days. So who knows? I might have to just suck it up at some point. And then we'll do a little bead ASMR for you guys. And I've got all of my 2-hole beads mixed together here. And we'll just pour a little bit in there.
I love each one of these so much.
So there are 2 other strands. So these ones all will come in bags that are in front of you here. And for some reason, I did not grab my sample strands, but Heather has those, so we can see if she ends up working with any of those. But you would get a package of any of these 3. Again, they're listed individually. So there is a cab. This is a 2-hole cab, and this is the Frost AB, I think is what I'm calling it. And then these little, the nib bit that's now stuck under my nail. That's hilarious. So the nib bits are the little silvery guys, and they're in what's called a mirror finish. And there's just a really faint, soft, kind of taupey, rainbowy glow underneath of those. And then the ginkgo is, I called this something Dijon because it's a very khaki color, but it has a soft kind of Dijon mustard finish. And then, the base color is more of a mustard. And then the finish on those is this gorgeous, you can see it better when they're in the dish there.
You can see it's so pretty.
Yeah, that's I don't know if I've gotten that true of a color on video prior to this. This is really great. So the finish on all of them is very soft, very reflective and wintry. And then all of the base colors, aside from one of the 2 holes that were in the set, are very like just winter snow, nothing like super harsh or contrasting, because I really was going for this like soft wintry palette. So
Nice.
that is the main collection, and there's all sorts of add-ons that I created for my subscribers. And knowing you guys and Heather's aesthetic, I
These are a
did.
must.
I knew this was gonna be like Heather's
I love
catnip.
this bag so much.
This is like if Heather were to curate a bag of my beads, this is what you guys would get from her.
Yes, I love these.
So these are our obies and our teacups, and some of the most used accent beads from Heather when we're working together. And she sprinkles them in like fairy dust to her pieces. But oh, here, get your little nail clicking clicks in there. So the little teacups are literally like a teacup shape, or a cup shape rather. And then the O beads are the little rings, and they work up so perfectly with like as a spacer or an accent. Those teacups layer so beautifully with the little like bellflower shapes. I also did a super duo mix and an I totally forgot to bring some of these to Heather. These are the pearls that I did the mix.
Oh, those are pretty too.
Yeah, I felt like there was some really good, just again, I had so many great colors from our trip to Prague, but there's lots of like soft metallics and cool winter colors. And then I did throw those like dark blue in there just to like give a little pop every once in a while. They had to play with this set. They couldn't sit this out. So. Super duos are somewhere. I thought there was like a bag of them just sitting right beside me, but of course, now that I look for them, they're lost in the piles of beads. So,
well, I'm going to be using the super duos, so I'll show those off when I do my making part.
That's so fantastic. I figured you might like enjoy playing with those, Heather. Oh, there they are. So yeah.
Oh yes, I love the color combinations.
Thank you. There's, again, the nice neutrals, a little bit more of like the sapphire periwinkle sort of color, and a little bit of metallic and shimmer kind of finishes in there. But I know Heather does really beautiful things with the super duos. So when I was creating the companion bundles, is what I call them, and I've called them in the past, for this particular month, I knew that there was a good chance Heather and I would be playing together. So I wanted to make sure and provide her with the right tools.
You did. I love it. All right. So Cassandra and I are going to be making some jewelry, giving you guys some ideas of what to use. And we're going to be using Humblebeads, which are the beads that I make out of polymer clay, that have been coordinated to Cassandra's collections. And Cassandra, do you need a minute to get yourself straightened up there? Or are you ready to? Oh, you got your beautiful earring. Yes, show that off.
I'm like, ta-da! I was just digging around in my bag to find that. So this is the thing that I threw together while Heather and I were in person, and she was making the most beautiful paper garland with some really pretty art paper. But this is what I think I will work on demoing during the video off and on, just because I know how it goes together, and I'll show you guys my other in progress pieces at some point. But this, I think people are going to want to see. It's got some material from our friend Nile over at Silver Silk, and I will tell you guys about, I've got some Silver Silk ready to list. I just didn't get the listing up. So if you want to add that to an order that you've either already placed today or at some point are in the process of placing, I can send you like a separate code for the shipping, so you don't have to like pay to add that to your order later. But I just didn't get it listed prior to the video. But Heather, do you want to show us what's going on with your beads? Are you working with things that are on the website right now? Do you have a list date for stuff that you are going to work with today? What's your thoughts
Yeah,
on all
let me add myself here. Here we go. And so I will show you the beads that Cassandra and I are both working with. And of course, we trade lots of extras and then we don't necessarily get to everything, but um,
that?
and because it's the holidays and you guys have been keeping me busy, I'm going to have beads listed on Tuesday after Christmas. After this holiday, I'm going to just give myself some grace, and I'll have all of these on Tuesday for you guys after our Bead Table Tuesday video, and we'll be using some of Cassandra's pieces for that too, along with Humblebeads. So first up, I have my little willow beads, and these are in an icy blue color, perfect for winter. You can use them together as earrings, single as necklace, or on a bracelet. Then I have a winter mix of disc beads with little snowflakes and birch and evergreen tree branches. So very wintry, but it's definitely not in your face Christmas. So you can wear it for many months to come, you guys. And then I threw in a fern in it's it's a purple color, but it just works really well with all the blue tones. Like it's pretty close. So I like that together. And then it kind of reminds me of a evergreen tree, so it has that design to it too. And then we have a signature bird. We couldn't not do a bird, and I did see Cassandra's mix and inspiration before I made the birds, but they just couldn't be more perfect together. I tried to grab all the colors, and then we have disc beads in gold that look really pretty with the ginkgos and some of the seed beads and the mixes, and then a little pair of mum disc beads too. And my first thing I'm going to be working with are these maple leaves. And so they're gilded with some gold and they're an icy blue color. So if we want, Cassandra, I'll just start with that project and then we'll snap over to you for the earrings after I do this.
I'll get organized for everybody.
So let me get us a little closer here. And so next Tuesday, right after Bead Table Tuesday, that's when I'll have the new pieces listed for you guys. Give us a little time to catch up from the holidays here. Okay, so I started with an 8mm jump ring on my charm, and I have about 8 inches of 2-ply wax linen. We're going to do a little knotting project for this earring. And I'm going to slip this on. I'm actually going to thread it through one more time so that we have that cord around twice on the jump ring. And I'm going to tie a knot. Make sure my cords are the same length. And I'm going to tie a knot at the top. Just a simple regular knot. Pulling both the strands through and pushing the wax linen down to the jump ring so that it's a nice tight knot there. And now we're going to add Cassandra in her, she has a little fire polish collection that she didn't even get to. And she has some little, I think these are these 3mm fire polish, the kind of taupe color.
Taupe color? Yeah, those are some of the 3mm.
So I'm going to start with those. And I'm going to twist the ends on the cord so that the thinner beads will fit through there. Oh, you know what? No. I'm going to do the blue beads on the bottom, and then the taupe ones are going to go on the top. I'm taking advantage of the 2 holes in the ginkgo leaves. So we're going to design a little bit around that. So I am going to start with just a little seed bead here on each side. And these are in a really pretty denim blue color. I'm just going to give a little bit of height away from the jump ring so that the ginkgo bead isn't right on the jump ring. And now I'm going to take both strands. Make sure you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take both strands of this and put it on each side of the holes on the ginkgo bead. And the ginkgo beads are designed for seed beading, but guys, they work so great for stringing projects. You could use beading wire or wax linen. Look how nice that looks. And now I'm going to do a ginkgo on each side, but I'm only going to use one, the inside hole on these two so that they'll nestle right in with the bottom ginkgo. Do that on the other side. And now I'm ready to put one on the top here. And this one is going to go through both the holes, just like we did the bottom one, so that everything will nestle together. I had to twist that end a little bit tighter so that the bead would go through. Isn't that pretty? I love those.
Oh my gosh, Heather, so cute.
Yes, and now we're going to add those little 3mm tiny fire polish, which is going to give us just a little bit of sparkle, but it's also going to fill in that space on the top of the ginkgo bead. And then I'm going to use one of those cabs that look like the perfect little snowball. I love it.
They are like a little snowball.
And they also have the two holes, so I'm going to put the cords through both of the holes here. Like that. And now I'm going to do a little knot at the top. Actually, I'm going to repeat the seed beads. It just gives it a little bit of a finish on the top here. And then I'll do a knot on top of the seed beads. Oh, Margaret, that's so... No wonder I was loving it. She said this reminds her of a piece of a pine cone. So how great does that fit into our little winter collection here?
Isn't that funny after we were sitting there drawing those pine cones the one night?
Oh, yes.
It is totally like the edge of the little, I don't even know what part of it would be, but the parts that stick out.
Yeah, the little pine cones. The pine cone pieces. Okay. So again, tying a knot with both the strands on the top here. And I want to make sure I get that as tight as I can. And now I have a jump ring that I'm going to be using on the top. I like to use a little bit of metal when I'm creating, and so if metal's not in the beads as in a spacer or a charm, I'm going to be using jump rings as the metallic accent. So that's what I have going on here. I'm going to throw on my ear wire before I tie this onto my earring. Make sure I have that closed nice and tight. Not easy to do on the camera.
No,
okay.
It's harder on camera, right?
Yes. And so I'm going to stick these two strands through the jump ring and pull them down till I get to the beadwork. Make sure I have this flipped around the right way so my leaf will be facing the front. You know, the details. Okay. And now I'm going to, let's see, how do I want to do this? Decisions. Okay. I think I'm going to set it down. And I'm going to wrap the cord around and tie a knot in the front so that I can have a little bit of fringe hanging off on the top here. And getting that nice and tight. And so that the knot is underneath the jump ring. And now I don't have scissors at my table for some reason, so I'm just going to cut these off with pliers. And then I'm going to untwist these, and it's going to give me just a little bit of color on the top here. Might give them just a little haircut with a pair of scissors later too. I think I'm going to use my pliers to separate those. There we go. So they're a little more fringy. It's winter hair. No, just kidding. After you pull off your hat.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny and
true. Yeah, I am gonna trim these down so that they're just about halfway the length of the top bead. I think that'll work really nicely. So 2 whole beads, super fun to work with. Add little seed beads for a tiny little bit of color and embellishment. And this earring whipped up in just a few minutes, guys. And so, Cassandra, are you ready to show your earring?
I'm trying to decide. Maybe you guys can help me with the decision-making process. So, and my my hot mess express over here. So, I've got both of these colors of silver silk pipe chain that I'm going to put in a bundle because they both look so good with all of these colors. Ooh. And I was going to use the some of those disc beads. So this is from the same set, but these ones have way more of that like periwinkle blue in them, where these ones seem to be with more of the like cream and the white showing. But I can't decide. I found like some beads sitting near me that might dangle, but they've got so much gold in them. I'm just having feelings about it. Because I need something, you know, like my little leaf down here is the dangle there, but I need something to like hang. And I feel like the bird is pretty, but it might just be a little too big for that earring cluster. So if anybody has any thoughts, suggestions.
I like that kiwi bead.
And you think with all the silvers still?
Yeah. Push your tray up just a little so we can see. Yeah, I like it.
All right. We'll just go with it then. I was looking for some brass wire, and I might just use a different gauge than what I used in my sample to start with, because I think that the mixing of the not using a silver wire will help make me happy to like tie it in. So
yes, there you go.
So in the original sample, I used a 20 gauge, the pipe chain. I don't know if you guys will be able to see on camera, but yeah, there's a hole. It's a rubber tube. So I've got the wire going through that. And I do all of this stuff before I do the stitching. So I think that the 18 gauge should work, but we need to cut our pipe chain. So going to start by mimicking what I did here, and then I will give you guys a measurement once I do that. Somebody says pine tree bead. Oh, like dangle? That would be great. So here we have. How did you know those were kiwi beads, Heather? Have you been stocking the beads?
I've had some before.
Yes, they're so fabulous. Oh my goodness.
They're a great
So
little shape.
this is like my grandmother's tape measure from many moons ago, 2.5 inches, almost on the dot there, guys. So that's the length that I'm cutting those pieces of pipe chain. And no matter what length you do, I'm going to tell you the pro tip of the year for your own work is to give yourself your second piece before you start working with any of it. I did that while I was making my first one. I was so impressed that I thought to stop and do that. So that's my Christmas gift to everybody. Cindy, these are just a flush cutter. That's the kind we carry at our store. And I think it can do up to like 14 gauge wire. At least I use it for that when I need to. But it's like a $20, $25 at the most tool. So the length of my 18 gauge is probably too big, but I like to have extra to work with just in case. And this is, a foot or less of the 18 gauge wire. And I would make sure and leave like 2/3 or something of the wire on one side and like a third coming out the other side of your piece that you're going to be working with, because you're actually going to leave the shorter piece. This will be what you string all your beads onto, because your last little bit of wrapping, I made this mistake while I was working with my first iteration of this. You don't want to have to mess around too much with the longer piece of wire you want for wrapping around the raw ends of your tube from the pipe chain, because this is what creates like a nice little end cap. So we're going to take this longer side, and you just want to make sure that your pipe chain comes to roughly meet at the top. You don't want like too much overlap. Yeah, that's a great point, Debbie Hill. Mine is a little bit of a bigger earring. So for some, these ideas would be really helpful for like pendant designs. And I really try to like offer that kind of flexibility in what I'm sharing most of the time, because I realize we don't all have the same taste in jewelry size. So we're just going to get that little wrap there. I would say the biggest difference between working with the 18 gauge versus the 20 gauge is for many people. Oops, sorry. Shaking y'all around there. Uh-oh. Did it stop?
Yep.
Okay. I hit my, sorry guys, I hit my, even though I have my hand cam on mute, if you jostle the earphones that are also plugged into it, it will cause a ruckus. And then I have to listen to myself echo in the background in horror until it stops. Yes, Debbie, that was not intentional. I apologize. So the difference between your 18 gauge and your 20 gauge is that if you are a less experienced wire worker, a smaller, softer gauge is going to be easier to work with. So the 18 gauge is fine, but you might want to leave that for if you are a little bit more experienced. And the other thing to think about is the things you string onto or you layer around your humble bead. I know Heather's beads can accommodate something this size easily, but I am guessing that I will be able to use my O beads, but not my teacup beads, which I did use the teacups in my first sample, and that is fine. It's just no big deal, but I'm trying to make sure you guys kind of get the full range of options and ramifications of like the difference between the materials just for your own sake. And there's a front and a back because of my preference of my wire wrapping. On this earring, it really does stay pretty straight on, you know, which direction. I was able to stitch the leaf to kind of hang the right way. But the nice thing about the using the humble bead here and a glass bead down here is that you won't have to worry about that. But really, there's still always going to be a front and a back because of the wrapping right here for me at least. But Heather, are you all ready for the upcoming holiday festivities?
I am. Surprisingly, it's a Christmas miracle. I am going downtown to buy one more last minute gift because something didn't come. But and I really don't need to do it, but I like to support the local economy. So
Yes.
I am going to go and get one last little gift from my daughter, and then I'm done. And then we just have some baking to do tomorrow and watching all our favorite Christmas movies.
Oh, you're so far
Yeah.
ahead of me. I swear, as long as I work in like in-person retail, especially, I will never be fully prepared for any holiday. And I'm just gonna make my peace with it, sort of, kind of.
Yeah. I have to say, this is probably the first year in my entire life that I've been ready before Christmas Eve.
Well, I am so impressed, and I
Let's
think
just
you
keep it real.
spend lots of time relaxing and enjoying the bliss of that preparedness. So this is the thread that I like to use along the bottom. Normally, I don't use something this thin with the 2-hole beads, but in an earring, it's going to be stationary the way I'm using it. So your 2-hole beads are not getting a bunch of like wear and tear and like pulling. And I go through it twice the way that I designed it because I start in the center because I don't see a real easy and not driving yourself mad kind of way to easily determine how to start. I think you'd have to like work the earring stitching on the bottom off of the rest of the, you know, like before you do anything with the tubing, like when the tubing's just by itself. And then you'd have to do trimming and like center it manually that way. So my preference is to do it and just create a little bit more of work with the stitching, but I think it works out well because I really think you would want to have some extra thread going through those beads.
I also want to say I appreciate the amount of stitching that's in this project.
Very little is what you're saying?
Yeah, just enough to feel like you've done something fancy, but not so much you're going to be overwhelmed by it.
Aw, well, I really do try to not go crazy with the needle and thread work if I'm demoing things that are meant to be like beginner friendly and all of that kind of stuff.
Yes,
So this is also going to be a little different. I'll show you guys any changes that I make in the like quantity of beads I'm using, but I wanted to use a different 2-hole bead so you guys could see the versatility of this idea. So we're going to just take a peek at all of this and see how it's going to shake out compared to the way that the ginkgos sit real quick. Like, I think I'm still going to use 115 against the pipe chain here. And I hold my what will be my first bead to add up to my work. And I look at where the holes lay, and that's how I determine where I'm going to put my needle. The needle is going, and because the needle is the same color as this wire, it's going to be harder to see, but I'm inside of or underneath of this knitted part, but I'm not piercing the rubber tubing. The needle's sliding against the rubber tubing. And I've demoed this in other things, so... Oh yeah, Debbie. If the pendant's being created the same way as this earring, it's not about whether it's an earring or a pendant. It's about the way the beads are being used. And so I think you could do this design as a pendant and still be safe. And then I just tied a double overhand knot against that work, and I'm going to pick up a size 15, which is the tiniest seed beads that come in the tubes in these collections. And I'm going to make sure I'm orienting the front of my work with the correct side of the cabs. Do have a front and a back. There's a flat and a convex, I think is the correct scientific term, side to that. And then on the outside of the 2-hole bead, or what's the edge facing away from your pipe chain, you just need enough beads to cover the area between the holes to make that aesthetically pleasing. So we're going to go back toward the pipe chain through that 2-hole bead. And so here's one of the differences. In the ginkgo version, there's 3 15s on each side of the 11. And in the cab version, there's just 2 15s and then the 11. I think the extra 15 on each side would be too much. So this is a form of, like, I will say, an altered brick stitch. And we've got the 15 again, and you want to skip a few sections of that pipe chain. So you started over here. You want to, like, go to where your cab the second hole will sit, and we're going between the wire knitting and the tube again. And if it's not super centered, it is not a big deal. When it's all setting, it's going to just be really pretty anyways. Now, the part that's the altered brick stitch, this is the way brick stitch works. We're going to take our needle. We're not going through any of the wire or the tubing. We're just going to go up through that 15 back outward. And if I don't see questions from you guys, just let me know. Margaret, I don't disagree about people being able to use the fire line. To be honest, I don't know that it would make a difference in whether it would hold up to the 2-hole beads or not. I wouldn't use this size thread or that size thread in a piece that didn't have something stabilizing the 2-hole beads so that they were holding more still. But that's just my personal feelings about the 2-hole check glass can be really sharp. So if I'm working with them off of any other, piece, then I'm going to be using like a 10-pound or so. We really like the wildfire. So I have another 15 on my needle. My thread's coming out of that 15, and I go directly next to the area where I was working for the last 15. And I don't think it's going to come across on camera, but I try to catch more than like one singular piece of wire when I'm making these stitches. Then you go back out through that 15 again. And the rest of this is very much a repeat with one little adjustment. Heather, while I'm setting up this next one, do you have anything that you prefer to like share with us, or do you want me to just keep going along here.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and finish that up, and then I will show my last little thing.
Okay, perfect. I just didn't want to bore everybody with the repeat if you specifically
Okay.
had show.
Yeah, I could take over for a minute if you want to.
All right, you can flip back to me whenever it's like convenient. No worries.
Okay. All right. So I've been making this little tassel with the teacup beads. There we go. And the O beads.
Oh my
Stacking
gosh.
them up. And then I use a little fire polish in the middle. And I've just attached them with little 5mm jump rings. And I did the same thing over here. And using the size 6 seed bead, which are about the same. They're about the same size as a 4mm bead. So, and they just look really dreamy on there. And I'm going to do one more, but it might have to be for just the photo. I'm going to do a piece of chain with the teacups hanging off it like little dangles, but that's going to be a little time consuming. I'm going to add a bead there, my bird, my disc, and let me show you the beading part I'm going to do on the top of the bird. So I have that about 40 inches of the 2-ply wax linen again. That's what I'm going to use for, and I'm going to have 2 strands of this. So each side of the necklace is going to be 1 strand of 40 inches folded over, and then I'm doing this lark's head knot on here. And I'm going to tie a knot right above the lark's head knot, just a regular knot. It just gives it a little bit of space from the jump ring, which I prefer. Okay, and I'm going to be using these super duos. Let me just make a mess and push those over there. And I've showed you guys this technique before, and so this isn't a new surprise, but I'm going to be combining it with the 2-hole cab beads, the little snowy beads, for a little extra interest. So I'm going to start by stringing both the cords through a super duo bead here. And it has to be 2-strand wax linen because the holes are too tiny for the 4-ply. And Margaret, I'm going to be restocking the birds on Tuesday. So we'll have the blue here and one other wintry color to match the collection.
And Debbie, that's the 2-ply wax linen if you didn't catch that already in the
Oh yeah, thank
last
you.
response. No worries.
So super duo through both strands, and now we're going to, on each strand, we're going to do just 1 hole on the super duo. And that's going to nestle together, and do the same thing on the other side. And I'm going to do both strands through 1 bead. Oh, I love the mix of colors in these super duos. It is a fantastic mix, Cassandra.
I was grateful I had a good selection to dump into a mix that worked with the collection.
Yes. So here is my little component, and now I'm going to do a knot on top of those. And now going to grab one of the O-rings, O-beads, O-rings, O-beads as my spacer. Let's slide that down. And I'm going to separate the two strands and string these through both of the holes on the cab bead. These are so fun to work with.
Yeah, they're a little bit bigger. People might be used to seeing the cabs that are like a 6 millimeter and they're top, the other ones are taller. I really love this like flatter shape, even though I've carried the taller ones for years too, but there's just something really lovely about the way these sit.
Okay, so there's a little bit of space in between there, and I'm just feeling picky about that. So this
I could feel your brain turning as you pulled that down. I was like, oh, she's not going to leave those
like,
spaces there.
So I'm going to borrow from my earring design and use the little seed beads on each side to kind of nestle around the bead, just so that I won't be seeing the cord. That kind of gives it an unfinished look to me. I want to see it like look intentional. So did the seed beads on each side. I'm going to pull these down before I put the other one on to make sure that I like it on top of the O bead, because you never know. Okay, yes, I actually do like that. So now we're going to grab the cab bead again. Stringing both of those on, and then I'm going to repeat on the top the sequence. Oh, I still see the thread a little bit, but I'm just going to have to live with it. Maybe. I'm like, okay, let me try something. I can't just let it go, you guys. Okay, so I'm going to commit to this, because once you tie a knot, that's it.
Aw, thanks, Margaret and Debbie. I think the beads are so beautiful together. I count myself as incredibly lucky to be friends with Heather Powers and have her create sets to go with my bundle. Just
It's
makes my
so much
heart.
fun to collaborate.
Yes.
So I'm just doing a knot on top of, with each cord, I'm just doing a little tiny knot.
Individually to fill up that
Yes.
space.
Yes.
Or to create space, I guess, really.
Yeah, just so that it doesn't look like the cord is, I don't know, it just was sticking out kind of strange to me. So we're gonna, that's the nice thing about the wax linen, is it can also, the knots can be used as the design element to, like you would use an accent bead.
Yeah, somebody was asking if there was like an alternative if they didn't have wax linen, and I don't know if there's many other products that would act the same and be the right size or
Yeah,
thickness.
wax linen kind of is its own thing. I think you could use Ceylon thread similarly, but I don't know if they have a thinner, like I don't know the thinness that it comes in.
There are different, I've carried a bunch of different sizes of that, Heather, so I do know there's different thicknesses, but it has a little less fluidness to it. So it'll work, but I think people will see a different drape to the way that their cord lays depending on how they're using it. This might allow them to like manipulate it the way they want to, but
Right. And White Clover Kiln on Etsy is a great place to get smaller sizes of the wax linen, smaller sample sizes, or not sample sizes, but just smaller amounts. So you could try out different colors. And she has all the colors and 2-ply and 4-ply. Okay, yeah, I think that looks
That's
more
cute. I like that a
intentional.
lot, Heather.
But I did like the little, well, no, I'm just going to keep going back and forth between these two. Now, when I do the next little cluster of beads here, I'm going to make sure I'm not repeating the same colors or patterns so that it looks random. So even though it
I
takes
always
a
tell
conscious
people
effort to do that.
there is no such thing as random, because if I'm doing a quote unquote random pattern, I'm still sitting there making a pattern so that I don't make a pattern.
Right? The anti-pattern.
The anti-pattern is still a pattern in its own way.
And there are so many different colors in here, you guys. You actually aren't going to have that hard of a time coming up with randomness for each little portion.
Oh, hi, Janet. It's so good to see you here. Thanks for joining us. She said it's so fun to watch us collaborate.
Oh, yes. Yes, Margaret, I like the wax linen because the knots don't come undone also. I appreciate that aspect of it a lot. I don't have to pull out any glue to do any kind of finishing. Okay, yes, I love this. And so I'm gonna have to see. I might do the whole necklace like this.
That's so
Or I may
cute.
just do like 8 inches. It depends how impatient I get. But my general, there's things to do. My general idea then is to do my bird with my there's going to be 3 little beaded chain links down here with the bow beads and teacups, and that's going to be my design. There's going to be 2 strands, so I'll repeat the other strand on here, and I think that's going to be really pretty to wear all winter long.
That's such a delicious tassel, Heather. I really love the idea of making a few links like that. How innovative, as usual.
Right. So MKT, it's white like the color, clover like the flower, kiln, KILN, at .etsy.com. So white clover kiln at etsy.com. And that's my friend Mary, and she does beautiful ceramic pieces too. So check out her shop and see what kind of goodies she has also. But yeah, that's a great place to get the wax linen, because we're no longer carrying the wax linen. It just takes up too much time to get it prepared and ready. And so since it's just me and Jess now, I've had to discontinue that. But that's only because I knew it would be easy to get them from Mary. Okay, are we ready to see your earring design, Cassandra?
Yeah, I'm at the point where I'm gonna be able to show people how to add the middle, and everything else is like a repeat or
Oh, yeah.
repetition of the other part. So the one difference, and this is consistent with both of the styles that I've made, is along the bottom of your cabs or your 2-hole beads in general, you're using 115 along the base, except when you get to that outer, so like you have a center 2-hole bead and then the edge ones, the outer hole of the edge 2-hole bead, you are going to want to use 2 15s. That keeps it from flipping out too much to the side. It's not going to be the end of the world if you don't use it. Heather can attest to the fact that that was originally an accident, because I picked up a second bead accidentally, and I was in the process of taking it off and realized that my muscle memory had just realized that that was what needed to happen there. So
Love that.
I like to include a seed bead off of that. I'm coming out of, so once you get through that, you're just retracing your steps through all of your beads and coming out of the middle of your first 2-hole bead, and it's going to be the 11 there in the center. And you just want to create a stack of beads. I used one size 8 on this maple leaf and then just went right through the hole with my thread. I knew that was going to be the least clunky looking finish with the thread so that that leaf just floats there. But I'm going to start with an 8 and then see how I feel about adding some O beads in here with the kiwi bead. Oh my goodness, these colors are so dreamy. I picked these up while we were on our trip to the Czech Republic in October this year. And I just love them. Okay. I don't like anything about how much length that's adding. Much like Heather, I do have very particular, like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna just like do it exactly how I feel like it's gonna look the best. So no 8 on this one, but I am going to still try adding the O beads. And I'll show, I promise I'll show.
Nice. Oh, the O beads are nice because they add a little touch of color, but not a lot of height.
Yeah, this is like, I wanted the color to tie in from the Your Beautiful bead at the top. Okay, we're going to live with this. I don't dislike it. I just am like not in a position to where I want to like fuss with it too much. And it's not adding any more length than the maple leaf, so I don't really know what my problem is, but okay. So the O bead is the first bead I added, and then the kiwi in this circumstance, and then another O bead. And the 11 is what we call our stopper bead in a situation where I have a strand of beads that I want to dangle from something. The 11 is going to be skipped in this portion. I'm going back through the O bead, the kiwi, and the O bead at the top. And with a thread this size, I'm probably going to reinforce this whole path. So I started off coming out one side of that 11. I'm going to go through the other side of the bead. And once you get everything pulled snug, and sometimes you want to like grasp that bead at the end and then pull everything back down again, that's a good way to do it. But this is pretty much going to give me consistency with like a double thread path through the entire project. So I'm going to go through everything again. And if you didn't catch it, I already came out of that 11. So I'm going to skip that and go just through the O, the kiwi, and the O. And the easiest way to remember which side you need to go through at the end, because with the going through everything and retracing your steps, you can't really tell, but this is the direction you go towards the empty side of your earring. So there's still like a missing component over here. And if you just remember that, that's the direction you want to go. And you just kind of have to hold everything gently until you get down through. I'm going to go through those 15s above the cab, and then I'm going through the cab and the 15 where that first knot that we created and the thread started at that spot. And then you do have to go through your, you have to go back underneath the wire. This is going to create your setup for adding that last set of beads, and that gives you the ability to come out of this 15. And that's where you want to be to add another 15 along the pipe chain, and then you'll repeat the process of adding your last edge cab over here. So the rest of that's just a mirror of that first needlework, or the last needlework we did over there. And then because everything is so long and spectacular already, I am just going to throw an ear wire on the top the way I did over on this the sample here, because I love a nice long earring, but this is plenty long for me. Otherwise, if you were doing something without a dangle on the bottom, you could make this whole fringe of the 2-hole beads without anything dangling, and you could do your like disc bead here, and you could add another section with a wobble bead to give you some like movement and length if you didn't want to like dangle something off the bottom. Just saying.
Yes, definitely. And, you know, even though they look long on the video, when you had them on, they weren't like crazy long.
They're not crazy long on. I like that there's a lot of open space. So you're not, you know, you've got this whole component. You could make this area smaller. Remember, we said this was 2.5 inches, I believe, of pipe chain. So you could do 1.5 inches or an inch. I think 1.5 inches might be the shortest you could go to create a component like that. But yeah, there's lots of modifications you could make. If you guys hear anything in the bathroom or in the background, the dogs are going out to use the potty. So it's the noise of them exiting to our patio area. Margaret, we carry the 1G thread in a smaller quantity. I think it's like a 50-yard spool on our website. This is just my industrial size that I need for the amount of work I do with it. So that is the type of thread that I love for working along the pipe chain. I have used wildfire or like a 10-pound thread in a very similar manner before. Somebody was commenting on how much they love that idea of how to work with the silver silk. So that's another opportunity. But I like that, you know, here I'm using the 15s in there. So I didn't want to use it too thick of a thread and have it be an issue. But Heather, you didn't get to see, I do have another little idea working here. So this is going to be a collar style necklace theoretically, and I'm probably going to need to do a separate video for this one just because I'm not quite certain how it's all going to work out. But I was going to work that fringe like, yeah, a little longer here and there until I get to the center of this stringing. And this is all fire polish from that bundle, and then the seed beads and some of the other like pearls and things. But I wanted to like have this piece hanging in like, you know, right against the top part of the necklace so that the fringe will like hit the sides of it, you know, in the center of the necklace there.
I love the branch feel of the fringe that you have going on there.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. Of course it's branchy.
Yes.
I was thinking you could like totally work in the kiwis with like
subconscious.
Yeah, really pretty in there, or some of the other disc beads. Like as you work towards the center, it just kind of depends on what like volume you want of beadwork in that area. But I love this happy mess of beads.
I really like the kiwis because it echoes the shape of the pendant.
Yeah. I think I was like falling asleep thinking about that the other night.
I love that. Okay, so I'm going to flip over to my camera one last time here. Here's my little finished tassel that I did. I added a length of chain, and then I did the little teacups as dangles on the bottom. And I started
like
with
a little cluster of winter berries or something. Yes. I love it.
So it's just one jump ring on the bottom, and then you put another jump ring and a bead on each side, and then you do that one more time and then attach it with a jump ring on the top. So very simple and easy little dangle to make, and that's going to be that necklace. Let's do a giveaway before you guys all run off for the Christmas holiday. So let me share my screen really quick with you so that we, it's going to be hashtag winter, you guys. So if you want to start.
Oh, thanks, Cecilia. Hashtag winter, you guys. You could win.
We're going to do a $30 gift certificate to Humblebeads, a nice little Christmas. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to add the 2 places you guys can find the wax linen in the White Clover Kiln on Etsy. And let me, oop, didn't mean that, Rosie. A little away from me. There we go. You guys are going so quick.
All of a sudden, there's 500 people watching. Heather, are you able to do a second drawing in the same video?
Yes, I can.
Okay, because if I can ask you to do that, then I will do a $30 gift certificate for a second winner to my shop as well.
Wonderful. Yeah, we'll do that next. We'll have to finish this one and then we can do the second one.
Okay, perfect.
Yes. So, and then there's another source that I'm going to give you guys that does the wax linen, but they only do what do I want to say? Rolls or spools, not rolls.
They do the full Monty.
Yes, you get the whole shebang, and that is Royal Wood Ltd, and that's in the comments. You guys can copy and paste that from the comments to make sure your entry is all caps, you guys, so that it enters in. Oh, it doesn't matter whether it's caps or not. Okay, well, that's good to know.
Yeah, I would do it the way it's pictured, just in case. Wouldn't want anybody to be left out.
So we're going to do this drawing, and then as soon as this one is done, we're going to do the one for Cassandra's. And I think I'll give you guys another minute because there's still a few coming in. I think we might be able to change the words so that everyone can enter.
Oh, you can't pull from. That's what I was trying to poorly ask.
I'm not 100% sure, so I don't want to take the chance. So
all right.
We'll do this one and then we'll do a second one.
All right. Sorry, I was trying to not create extra work for you.
Well, it's just a tiny bit of typing, so I think we can handle it.
Okay. Well, I don't care about them. I was talking about you. If they want to enter in the drawing, then they should go ahead and type the extra word if that's what it takes.
Okay. So we are going to do the drawing now for this one.
Good luck, guys.
Yes. Shannon, wonderful. So I'm going to enter my email that I want you to email me. And then we'll get that sent out to you. And again, you guys, I will have the new beads that I showed today on Wednesday at 4:00 after Bead Table Tuesday next week. So you guys can watch the video and then shop with me. Okay. Humblebeads@gmail.com. Shanna, go ahead and email me and we'll get that over to you. Oh, it looks like I can draw again. So you guys, you have another chance. You don't have to enter again. But if you haven't, yes. Okay, great. Thank you, Katney. So you don't have to enter again if you've already entered, but if you are just getting here, or not just getting here, but if you didn't get in to the first round, hashtag winter is the what you want to add into the comments really quick. Hashtag winter, all caps, just to be safe. And I'll draw another one in just a second. So do you have a Christmas Eve movie that you watch, Cassandra?
So, I've already watched a handful of there's some newer movies that I really enjoy watching even by myself. The movie, one of them is called Four Christmases with Reese Witherspoon.
Oh, yes, yes, that's a funny one.
It's like not too cheesy. It's got like some of the like kind of darker humor of Christmas in it. And then The Family Stone. Have you seen that one?
A long time ago.
It's
I'll have to rewatch that one.
it's not it's I feel like it's not new, but newer, and it's got Sarah Jessica Parker and and I'm totally forgetting the matriarch of the family's name, but Diane Keaton. So that was like an extra tearjerker this year. But those are two newer ones that I really enjoy. Our family is very much a fan of the very most old original illustrated Grinch
Oh, yeah.
movie. And then A Christmas Carol, not A Christmas Carol. What am I thinking of? You'll shoot your eye out. That one.
Oh, The Christmas Story, yes.
Christmas Story. I was like, it's not A Christmas Carol. And Home Alone was always one as a kid that I really loved. Like these are all things that like I try to like squeeze in, or like our family will sit and watch one of those like sometime during the holiday season. What about you, Heather?
We always do It's a Wonderful Life on Christmas Eve and The Christmas Story on Christmas Day. And then tonight will be White Christmas because we just all love that one.
That
And if
sounds
you guys haven't watched Christmas in Connecticut in a while, you should really watch it. My daughter and I were watching it and we were like so surprised at how forward it was with the woman who was a single woman who lived in the city pretending she was a writer on a farm. And it's a very, there's a nice little gender switch, or not gender switch, but a gender role where the love
yeah.
interest is really good with the baby and she doesn't know what to do with it. There were just all these little things that were really ahead of its time that made it really enjoyable to watch the second time with a younger person. So
That it's not the
drifting.
same thing, but the Four Christmases is partially that's why I enjoy that movie so much, because the couple, the premise without giving anything away is that the couple in the movie is not married and they're trying to avoid spending the holidays with four different families over the course of like the same day because they're from divorced parents, and so they like normally go on vacation, and then chaos ensues. And so I do really love when there's like a twist on like the quote unquote traditional, because really no one has that perfect dream like traditional Christmas
Yes.
family setting. Like that just doesn't exist. So
And it's just fun to see that other people are just as chaotic as your family.
yeah, that
You're not the only ones. Well, okay,
oh
we are ready to do our next drawing. And so this is going to be for Cassandra for Beads to Live By for a $30 gift certificate. Good luck, everybody.
yes.
Oh, yes, Wendy, Christmas with the Cranks is a funny one, too. All right. Gumnut Lane Designs. Hello, hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you for the advice on it doesn't matter if it's all caps or not. That's good to know. And so you have won Cassandra's drawing. Cassandra, how should she reach out to you?
I am sending you my email address, and she can
Okay.
just shoot me an email since I'm incapable. I'm typing like despite my fingernails, but I'm incapable of posting the comments apparently.
I get it. All right. So,
So just please email me at cassandra@beadstoliveby.com. And I depending on when you send the message, don't worry, I won't forget about you. But the next couple of days will be a little bit slower than usual for work for me. So
Yes. So, Cassandra, can you share? Oh, I'll share that. You can't share that. I'm
just
going to
go.
share your link one more time for your creative collections. And you guys, when will the silver silk be put up, Cassandra? Because you were going
I
to
will
have.
put that up as soon as we get off of the video so
Okay,
that people, I just wanted to make sure and actually inventory what I had so that I didn't oversell and like make people sad. So once I get that added, I would say by 5 o'clock people can shop if they're waiting for that. No worries.
wonderful. Well, you guys, I want to thank you all for being here. Let me let's remove that. Remove the beads so we can get
Remove
down
the
to
beads. Never remove the beads. No.
no, temporarily. I want to thank you guys for joining us, and I want to wish you guys happy holidays and Merry Christmas, and however you celebrate or don't celebrate this time of year. We're really glad to have you here and hope that no matter what, you guys take some time to be creative this weekend, sneak in some creativity, and relax and have some peace during this holiday. You definitely deserve it. Cassandra, thank you so much for joining me. I look forward to chatting with you every day like we do.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This has been such a good way to just like, I hope everyone felt that like calm and peace of sitting down and watching us create if you weren't creating along. But I am 1,000% reiterating what Heather just said. You guys, even if it's like the most crazy time of your life, you cannot place enough value and importance on taking some time to like step away and decompress and take time for yourself, whatever that is that brings you joy and peace. So please, please,
Yes,
please take extra good care of yourselves this winter and over the
that's
holiday
right.
season.
So we'll see you guys on Tuesday next week. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.